Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 5th week of the Road to Google Cloud Certification. This is the Cloud Engineer curriculum, and let's get into it. So this week, as usual, we're going to have a quick recap of what you were supposed to do during your studies. And then we will have some sample questions that are pertaining most of the topics that you have dealt with this week. Our speaker today is going to be Goran. I'm sure that you have seen him already, so you may be familiar. And he's done a great job in the past week, so we're happy to have him again doing this. I'm Saverio. There is among us there are also Rossano, and I see Lorenzo from GDG Cloud London, while Goran is from GDG London, or sister chapter. So I don't know. We were all a big family here. Anyway, before we get started, as we are getting toward the end of our Monday weekly meeting, I would encourage you to keep up the study, and especially to keep up the preparation after these weekly sessions complete. If you are ready to take the exam, get in touch with us. Let us know where you are. We might have some prizes and some particular things that encourage you to take the exam for the first few people that take it. But do not rush it, because it's pointless if you cannot pass the exam. But just keep us in the loop if you are ready to certify. And with this, I will leave the stage to Goran and talk to you all later.
Thanks, Saveria. So this is a study group, week 5. We are almost there. We have one more week. That's the next Monday, which is the final one officially. Although we will be around for, I believe it's from week 7 till week 10 or 11, something like that. Quite not sure. On the Slack channel, and we'll be able to answer any questions over there. Anything we have. So, a couple of things to note for today, for our today's study group session. So, a little bit where we are on our journey. We will have go through, just like every week, for our exam guide review. We will go for a review on our sample questions for this week. You might have seen on the Slack channel, we have asked if everyone can bring their phones today. So this is something that we have prepared for the sample questions review. Made it a little more interesting, just so we will not bore you within this. So we will be able to have a little quiz-like game, and of course at the end, as always, we will have a Q&A and we'll preview the actions for next week. As always, if you have any questions or anything while we are here, please do pop them in the chat. Otherwise, we are almost always on the Slack channel, and we'll be able to guide or help out anything to anyone that has. So first things first, where we are on our journey. As we mentioned, this is week 5. So as we probably us, I always say us, but I would say the journey or the program expects from you to have all the on-demand training in Pluralsight from week 1 to week 4 to be completed. Although if you still haven't completed everything, and if you are somewhere around week 4 maybe or something like that, still don't discourage. Even if you're a little more behind, don't discourage, and please to continue to try to keep up with the journey. As Saverio mentioned, we'll be able to provide anything, any guidance as well. So as you already know, if you have some experience with other clouds, but you're new to GCP, it most likely that's you will still need to start at the beginning, but you will most likely be able to connect the dots, just because almost, even though they are having different products or different name products, most of them are very similar when it comes to it. So regardless of that, if you want to just validate your technical skills, then with working with GCP, then of course this is a great certification. Exam guide review. So let's take a sneak peek at what the topics of our weekly are. So this will also help you to connect the dots between the training content and the specific domains covered by the exam. So in this week, we have Managing Identity and Access Management, or IAM, service accounts, and viewing audit logs for project and managed services. So this is mostly connected to the hands-on labs over here where we have. So although it does not cover everything, you would have seen that this week hands-on lab practice comes directly from Quick Labs, and we have actually from Google, it was outlined, and probably you have received in your email that there has been a new Quick Labs, I would say sort of like a challenge out that will provide you 30 days of free Quick Labs subscription. So if you haven't done that already, please make sure to complete it. This will give you the access to Quick Labs and will be able to complete the approximately 24 hours needed for this week. So that is what's pretty much what we have when it comes to the exam guide review, or where we are on our journey. And as we mentioned, that we have prepared a little bit of fun and interesting. So as you already know, every week we have the sample questions for a review, and this week we have prepared 5 instead of 3 sample questions, and we have made it to be a little more enjoyable by creating a little Kahoot quiz. If you, I expect, or I hope, so to say, that almost everyone is aware about Kahoot. So Kahoot is actually great when it comes to quizzes, because we'll be able shortly on the screen to provide the how to join the game, and it works in this way where you'll be able to navigate to that URL on your phone by opening any web browser, and that you will, once you enter the quiz ID, you will be then joined. It will ask for your name as well. You can enter your name. Please try to keep it, should I say, like a work safe when it comes to names. And once you're there, then, and once everyone is ready, then we will be able to start that one. And once you're in, I'm just gonna start to load the game. There we go. So as you can see, if you go to kahoot.it, or if you have already installed the Kahoot application on your phone, the game pin is 513-1132. So once you're there, please do let me know. Oh, there we go. People start to join. So works in this way. So there will be 5 questions. In each of the questions, there will be 4 possible answers, and the answers are only single choice. So there is no multiple choice, anything like that. Just as always has been until now, it will be only single choice. I'm just gonna wait, because I think we had a couple of more people on the call. So I'm just gonna wait a little until we have more people to join. I see already 22 in, which is great. So just give it a couple of minutes. In the meantime, if someone has any questions, please do pop them in the chat, or if you have been, yeah, anything like that. I've seen a question from Linda about the slides. Yeah, we'll be, although we don't have that much like last week, just because we have prepared the sample questions review in Kahoot, but we'll make sure to share the slides, and I will try to get most likely a screenshot from the Kahoot questions with the correct answer, and then we'll be able to share them across on Slack. So I'm just saying 39 people. I think we are almost there. hope everyone is enjoying the music.
There it is. We have a question in the chat. What are we going to win for Kahoot? I don't think there is any glory, I would say, and confidence in the fact that you're getting the question right and you're getting close and ready for the exam. Can someone accept someone to join the meeting? It should be free to join, right, Saverio?
The meeting, well, they should be registered with the program, otherwise they are not with the campaign, otherwise they cannot join it, because like the people that are in this campaign are pre-approved by Google, not by us directly.
Okay, so I've seen 44 people. I think we're okay to start with a sample question for this week. And also, as Lorenzo mentioned, you will win. So the person that will win first will maybe get an infinite prize, just because you will be forever recorded in our recording. So that will stay forever at one of the Google servers. Okay, so I think we're good. We can start with it. So first thing first, starting with first question. So we have 60 seconds between. So once we have the question on the screen, we have 6 seconds to answer it. So this is the question. So enterprise data warehouse with SQL query capabilities of petabytes of data, but you do not want to manage service or clusters. So what it is the correct answer here? So is the cloud storage, BigQuery, Bigtable, or data store? I will give a little when it comes to which one it is the keyword that we're looking for here. So enterprise data warehouse. So I think that it should say everything when it comes to this question and answer. So as you already know, cloud storage is sort of like blob storage, data store, something. Bigtable is a NoSQL white column database, but BigQuery, it actually has in its name, so to say, that it is an enterprise data warehouse for large amounts of relational structures. So I've seen 43, 44 answers, I think almost everyone. Yeah, that's the one. So 29 got the correct answer, which is great. So as we mentioned, it was already there into the question name. So enterprise data warehouse is BigQuery. Let's go to next question. Well done to Mehmet. Number one so far, answered most likely the fastest. One thing about Kahoot is that the faster you answer, more points you get. So probably that's why. So let's go next quiz. Next question. So when it comes to Internet of Things, so you would like to stream large volume of filtered, transformed, and analyzed data stored in data store. So which one is the perfect approach when it comes to this? So is it Dataproc, a cloud data flow, cloud?
In my mind, it doesn't let me give the answer. Only now appear. Okay.
Okay. Okay, great to see that. So cloud endpoints or cloud interconnect, right? So what do we have? So cloud interconnect. So as we know, it extends our on-premise network to Google's network. So that's not something that we're looking for here, because we would like to stream large volume of filtered and transformed. Next thing is cloud endpoints. So cloud endpoints is actually it's something that we can develop and manage APIs on any Google Cloud backend. So that's not something. So the only thing is between Dataproc and Dataflow. So the correct answer here is actually Dataflow, because they can both be used to implement ETL data. But when it comes to stream large volume of filtered and analyze data stored in data store, we are looking for cloud Dataflow. So let's see, 27 of correct answer.
I cannot answer on time because in my side this doesn't refresh in real time, you know.
Don't know why it might be. it's very hard to.
That's okay.
answer.
Don't. Just only so you know, it's just at the beginning.
Okay, so sadly we don't manage Kahoot, but if it doesn't work with the website, give it a try next time with the application. Probably it's working better
Yeah.
than the website.
Yeah, not a problem. Don't worry.
Might be, not sure.
And another thing is like Kahoot will time you from when you start, not from when we see that on the screen here. So you should be good.
Cool. All right, great. So next thing, we have a change in the lead. Well done to Arjun. First place so far. So let's go to the next question. So we're discussing about preemptible virtual machines. So as we know, preemptible virtual machines, they may be shut at any time. So that is kind of the risk that we're taking if we have a preemptible virtual machines running on our platform. So they can be shut down at any time, but they will always be shut down after running how long? So we have 4 answers here. Is 6 hours, 12, 24 hours, or 48 hours? So I hope everyone is aware about preemptible virtual machines. The great advantage, so to say, to use them is that they are much cheaper when it comes to the other virtual machines. But Google or Google Cloud Platform reserves the right to shut down your virtual machines whenever the resources are needed. So if you have anything that's you're running, but you need to have it running for uptime. So yeah, that's what it says. So 24 hours is the correct answer. So great one. We have more correct answers, and let's see, we have changes into the leading again. Nope, still. So the first 1 and 2, they're still staying the same. Well, great to see that. So,
I think you're right. It's a problem with the browser because I was clicking the right answer for 10 times, and after the 10th time, it took the answer. So I guess it's something with the browser.
Yeah, might be. Have you tried maybe I think you can. I'm not sure, but anyone can tell me.
Don't worry. Next time I will be more prepared. I didn't know. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we try to have it a little as a surprise when we join. So that's why we just ask people to bring the mobile phone, because we found that on mobile phones, like most likely, but you see, not on all of them. So hopefully next time. Next question. So we have question 4. So we have a failed application, and within that failed application, we suspect that some resources do not have appropriate roles. So the command to list granted roles is, so we have the first one, gutil im list grantable roles. Second one is gcloud im list grantable roles. Third one is gcloud list grantable roles, or the last one, gcloud resources grantable roles. So as you can see, there is a mixture over here between gcloud and gutil. So yeah, that was this actually from one of the sample questions. So it is referring to gutil, but although I'm not sure if that is a correct command. Also, when we need to list the command to list granted roles, it is going to be within gcloud, but do we need im here? Definitely, we need im here. So when we would like to list the command to list granted roles for like within that, so the correct command is gcloud im list grantable roles. So it is there is, if you can see in the last couple of questions, there is not really key except for the first one. There was not that many of key words that we're looking for, although when it was in the exam, you will most likely be able to distinguish this with the keywords. So this one, they would need to literally go through the documentation and be familiarized with that. But of course, it doesn't expect from your side to be familiarized with the exact all the commands, that because there are quite a few to be remembered. But it's also just to go through a little sort of like a logic, because we know gutil. I don't know a command of gutil, especially gutil im. I don't know about that as well right now. If I go to the Google Cloud documentation, I'm not sure if I will find it. So it will leave me for the rest. So if you can see it here is the command to list granted roles. So roles and service, the roles and accounts, it's most likely 99%, maybe even they told me, someone told me actually a while ago that never say 100%, so that's why I tried to say 99%. So will be within IAM, Identity and Access Management. So let's see if we have any changes. Nope, still 1 and 2. Well done. Let's see if the final question will have some changes, but well done to Andre as well, who is up 13 places. So the highest climb by this one. All right, so get ready for the last one. So CPU availability can vary between zones. So to get a list of all CPU types available in that particular zone, you should use. So which one? Which of these commands you should use? Is it gcloud compute zones describe, gcloud im zones describe, gutil zones describe, or gcloud compute regions list? So we're looking for a couple of things. CPU availability. So CPU availability stands within compute engine, and we're looking for the availability between zones. So if you would like to get list of all the CPU types available in that particular zone, so this is something that, so two key words that we're looking for here is CPU, which is closely related to compute, and a zone. So which one it is? So is it B, gcloud IM, or is it A, gcloud compute zones, or is it gcloud compute regions list? Because we know gutil, we don't know. The correct answer is A, gcloud compute zones describe, because we are looking for getting the CPU types available in that particular zone. So we can go through the last one as well, but that's also for the regions, but for the list, but I'm not sure if that is the correct and final command when it comes to that. So that is what we have prepared for this week. And as we mentioned, we have a little music. So Linda, even with all the
Technical issues.
Yeah, with the technical issues.
And I made it.
And well done to Arjun and Santi as well.
Okay, so Arjun, Santi, Linda, please later on during the week get in touch with us. We might have some prizes, so stay in touch with us for the top 3, and we may have some surprise for you.
Yay! I'm the cheerleader.
Yeah, great job. Well done. Yeah, so yeah, that was pretty much what we had. We're just gonna pop in here because we haven't had for a long time about the support email address. So as you know, it's rgzc-support@google.com. First point of contact, also always Slack, but for any further things that you have any questions, please free to reach out there as well. And the next step what we have is the Q&A.
Yes, so do we have some questions? Let us know if you have any doubt about this week's or the past week's material, and we will try to answer them together.
I had one question.
Oh, sure, shoot.
Yeah, so of the 4 default firewall rules, is it possible to delete those?
Yeah, so you're talking about the firewall rule that you get in your default VPC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, those that you get there are kind of like something standard, somewhat sane to start with, but you can definitely remove them. What you cannot remove, and those are always there, are the true implicit firewall rule that lock all ingress and allow all egress by default. So yeah, when you create a new VPC or when you have a default one, you can delete the default rule, but always remember that the implicit one, I'll find the link, you cannot delete them. You can only override them with higher priority.
Okay.
So that has also some more deep implication, because if you're interested in the security policies, you usually need to define a closed system or an open system as a ground truth with which to evaluate all following rules. So you are required by to mathematically have a sound security policy system to have those ground rules, as Lorenzo was stating. So it's not like a quirk of GCP having to have those, but otherwise you might end up in a situation in which you have an inconsistent permission system. So something that specifying just only some rules that doesn't allow the system to address every possible scenario. So those two rules allow you to be covered under all cases unless you specify something else. I would like to catch up with, if possible, with all of it since the beginning. So I think I'm not sure exactly with the kind of access you get through to Pluralsight, to QuickLab, to redo the labs. But if I'm not wrong, I was reading in the chat that there was a common problem with the access to QuickLab, and they may grant an extension to use QuickLabs for more labs. So if you stay tuned on the Slack channel, you should get the resources to redo all the labs. Thank you. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just a link. While people think about it, I could drop some link. I was scavenging while Goran was going through the Kahoot. I guess the first one. Stop me if you see any question being asked.
Mm-hmm.
So let me actually try and share the screen, see if my connection allows it. Oh wait, first one, Arjun. Is there a doc which can explain IP alias and secondary IP range in simpler way? Oh, official doc and got confused. That's an interesting one. I can't remember any blog or documentation really to explain that. Was the confusion around what they are used for, how they actually work beneath it, or in general about the argument?
So I basically was trying to create like a Kubernetes cluster environment using just VMs, but I wanted to use IP aliases to just make one VM a master and give all the other like worker VMs the IP range. So I wanted to have control over the IP it has and how I can provide other user access to it using a different IP.
That's interesting, because I actually never tried. I don't know about the others. I never tried to build a Kubernetes cluster on GCP without using GK. I always took it. I always took the easy way and say, yeah, I'll just use the managed data plane. I mean, from what I remember, alias IP are not really meant to be used to give secondary access to people, but rather they're used as a facility for Kubernetes cluster, at least the managed one. I don't know if you can do the same with self-managed one, as a facility to allow better routing between basically to glue together the abstraction between Kubernetes IP and actual VM IP. So I don't know about your actual use case, I'll be honest. I don't know, Goran or Saverio, if you
I
know
don't
more about it.
think that I had it. But let me think. So if you send, okay, so try to send the question also on Slack, and eventually we can try to get someone to look at it that may be more that may have had the similar situation. But usually, as Lorenzo was hinting, it's perfect. Like as a general rule on GCP, if there is and this is more of a tip for the question of the exam, if there is a managed way to do something, usually that is the correct answer. So if you need to do it yourself, but it's already offered out of the box by GCP, choose that option. That should be the correct answer to the question. So it's great that you are dirtying your hands trying to do yourself. So it usually will lead to more knowledge of the product if you do it yourself. But for the sake of the exam, it's better if you try and choose the manage option.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and there might be one question or two where they say explicitly, we don't want to use the manage option because compliance requirement, but I've seen them as quite rare, and they're usually quite obvious in the fact that say not managed. So let's go in here, my screen. Is it decent, doable, or very pixelated?
Let me see. Seems okay.
Okay, good. As I was, I'm basically tethering off the phone. This was the second question about large-scale data and about streaming. Was it streaming IoT? Don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we got this link here that I'm sending. It's under architecture center, which gives you a more high-level view of things, and it has a quick column by column comparison of the various products that you have: data proc, data flow, and also data prep, which is yet another one. I don't know if that is in the scope of the exam actually. It's offered by a partner of Google, and it gives you some hints of the difference and what the best use case it could be. And again, as the product expanded, again more capability, they start to get somewhat more similar and more related. But in general, you always tend to have one like data proc, which is more like self-managed and give you like the ability to transfer like a Hadoop cluster that you already have, quickly transfer it to the cloud, and something in this case is data flow, which is like fully managed. It will automatically scale the VMs for you. You don't need to care about it. Then there was about the preemptible VM. This is the other link that tells you where the limitation is, 24 hour. And it will be, that's important to remember, it's at least every 24 hour. If you are, and I'm speaking from experience, if you're running a workload in a region that has slightly less capacity or where there is heavy demand, like, my experience is from London. Sometime on some heavy weekend, you might see your VM actually getting preempted in an hour or so. It's rare, but it does happen. So this is a limit. And this is also a tip that I have for the exam. Go around the various services, and during your review, go and take a look at the limitation of the service. Quite often, the limitation of the service will let you understand better what the limit is and where it can be used. Is G-Cloud Composer included in the exam? That's something we should come back to you, I guess.
I don't remember if I saw a question about that. Okay, we can get back to you. I know that during the week, some people ask me, when should I use a preemptible VM? And that is an interesting question. And usually the answer to that is when you have some workload that can be interrupted and can be resumed. So usually you need to plan your application in a way to leverage the fact that a preemptible VM could be disrupted at any moment in time. Usually you need to store your state of your computation somewhere. So say, depending on what you are processing, it can be either something saved in cloud storage or something in a database, some way to keep up on where you were last in the processing pipeline that you were having. The main thing with preemptible VMs is, as Lorenzo was pointing out, that they can be stopped at any moment. So that is the way that you have to play around with. So you usually get a signal that you are going to be terminated. So you have some time to save your state and clean up what you were doing. And I know that there are some very interesting use cases of even a large company that saved a lot of money working with this process in mind around preemptible VMs. Of course, you cannot put all your eggs in one basket because there may be some edge cases in which there are no preemptible VMs, and then you cannot process anything at all. So in those cases, you could either have the core of your application run on traditional VMs or containers, and part of the computation offloaded to the preemptible so that you can progress even if there aren't, or you structure it in a way that can also just be run in containers, which are, at the end of the day, preemptible VMs that are never preempted.
Yeah. Going through, the docs of list, I've put the link in Meet about this command that we saw in another question. CPU platform, this is another one. It's interesting. You will get, I'll send a link. You will get a list of processor and platform that you have and classes and everything. And also under the documents for region and zone, you can see that in a single region, you might have different capability. And you will see, especially for the most cutting edge part for the GPU, even a single region, a region might have that capability in a single zone. And so this is something important to remember, because maybe if you need a highly available workload with that very specific capability, make sure that that platform is actually available on more than one zone. If you need to, be highly available and be able to survive at zone downtime. To where it. This was just a link that I already sent about the VPC default rule. And I'll send this again because why not? This is the exam guide, which it's a good thing to reread when you're done and take a look and tick all the thing and say, hey, yes, I remember about this. And I know about this specific service. So let's take a look. I don't see anything about Composer here. So I think, it's not in there. I'll double check later just to be sure to to avoid misleading you. But yeah, I guess to be sure, remember what composer is for. Read the very high level, but don't spend too much time digging in depth into how it works and how to make it work. Oh, damn it. Usually by this time we got a couple of more questions.
Yes, yes.
But everybody's quite silent.
So if there aren't any follow-up questions or new questions, I guess that we can give you a good evening or
I have a question.
Great. I knew that the
Yeah.
moment I was going to close this, there will be a new question. So go ahead.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
just what is new about quick labs that you have said?
Well, I think yes, yes.
Just because I haven't received any mail from GCP, so this is why.
Okay, so I was reading, it wasn't directly coming from me, but during the week I was reading in the Slack workspace that there was this note about the fact that the access to QuickLab was finishing earlier than the campaign, and they were going to provide a new access code for QuickLab. So keep an eye on your Slack channel. Maybe you're going to receive also an email. I'm not sure, but on Slack they are following up on this point. So if you have problems accessing after a certain date QuickLabs, don't worry. Check Slack, and you should get a way to access it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. If there aren't any following questions, no. I'll close it here. We will see you all on Slack. Keep up the study. For the winner of today, they can message us later this week, and we have something for you. And likewise, keep up the studies. Let us know when you're ready to undertake the exam. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.